guys, Ring Queen Lexa Rose here with an arresting episode of Wrestling with Beauty. This look is actually a tribute to a friend of mine. His name was Convict. He was a wrestler in the business. Some people knew him as Overdose. His real name was John Santiago. And he was a very kind person to me. He was also a very important part of the wrestling community. He was known and loved by a lot of people, especially out here in New York. He was a very big part of BWF when I started in my career, and I just wanted to be able to honor him with a makeup look that is inspired by his character, Convict. As you can see, I've got the pentagram and the 666 that he wore on his hockey mask, and also the bars of his jail cell, and I also got orange on the lid, which he wore on his uniform when he wrestled. And the crazy thing about his character was he was always wearing a mask, but the mask he wore was always unique. It was a Jason hockey mask, all black, and it would have, like, you know, little drawings and stuff of pentagrams and goats. And he also had screws, well, drill screws that would stick right out, kind of like Hellraiser. And it was a really, really dope character. He scared children. He sometimes, when he was in a mask, intimidated us just for fun. He was just an all-around great guy. You know, he was very respectful, as far as I know. I mean, everybody always has their opinions, but coming from the bottom of my heart, he was a good person to me. So I wanted to be able to honor him, and I know there's a couple of guys out there that wanted me to honor him as well, so that is why I chose to do this tribute called Maximum Security, which is inspired by Convict. So with that being said, Convict, rest in peace. Love you, man. I hope, you know, you're proud of me. You know, I hope to make you proud. Sorry, it's a little somber, and I'm not my normal happy-go-lucky self, because this video has been done in respect. So he was, you know, he had a great sense of humor and everything, but I just wanted to be a little serious for a moment and honor him. So that being said, let's get this tutorial rolling. So we're gonna start off with the tutorial. Like I said, I did full face off camera and the eyebrows because this look really focuses on the eyes. Again, this is a tribute to the great friend of mine, Convict, who passed away recently. So this is a tribute look to him. He also went by the name Overdose, but I knew him as Convict, so we're gonna stick with that and focus more on, you know, his colors, which were black, white, and orange because of the jumpsuit he wore. So I'm just prepping my eyebrows with some Urban Decay eyeshadow eye potion, anti-aging, of course, because, you know, I'm a bitch. So we're just gonna put this all over the lids. Okay, so now that we've got the primer on the lid, we're gonna go into just some generic flat brush, you know, nothing too special, because we're just gonna put a layer of white. We're gonna go into Bump from our our Urban Decay Full Spectrum eyeshadow palette. So we're gonna just kind of dip into there, and we're just gonna put it all over the whole entire lid to kind of just set the primer. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna just do a slight transition color. We're gonna go into our NYX Avant Pop palette, and we're gonna just pick this peachy color just to kind of give ourselves, you know, a little marker of where we're gonna put the black, because this is gonna be a really, really dark color. So we just want to kind of just do this as a marker, not really such a transition shade. And we're gonna grab this kind of fluffy-ish looking brush that we use to dust the white on. We're just gonna dust this peachy color just to kind of give ourselves a little marker of where we're gonna put the black shadow, and then later on we'll cut the crease and put the orange and everything else. Okay, next we're gonna go into that same Avant Pop palette, and we're gonna go into this really nice black, only because it looks a lot better than this black Platonic right down there. So we're just gonna kind of mix them both. We're just gonna go with the NYX one because I feel it's, you know, not as pigmented, and then we could just use the Platonic to kind of put it and give it more of an intense darkness if this doesn't build up the way I want it to. So it's a very, very Platonic is a very, very pigmented color, so you don't really need much, but I don't want it to be too intensely black that it kind of drowns out the orange. So we're just gonna kind of build it up a bit. So we're gonna go into that black in our NYX Avant Pop, and we're just gonna pop that right in there on top of the peachy transition shade we just put in. Now we're gonna bring it here into the corner because only this part is gonna be complete orange, and then all this around it is gonna be just black. I'm gonna bring it right there towards the nose because it's gonna be a severely intense look. Okay, so next we're gonna go into that Platonic color, which is right there. We're just gonna kind of load up the brush a little bit because we want to kind of make it darker, and like I like the way the NYX came out first. So now when we put this on top, see how it makes it more buildable, and you don't even have to do that much. See how freaking the difference between NYX and then NYX with the pigment, really, really, really huge difference, but it gave me just the right amount to make everything kind of stand out. So let's start with the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've got the black on, we're going to grab our NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and we're gonna just put it right here on the lid, and then we're gonna use also a brush to kind of like clean up the lines. So let's kind of get that in there because it's a really nice base for the orange that we're gonna put, and we want to make sure that the orange kind of just stands out and pops against the black, because you know the whole point of the black and white and orange is, you know, they're correctional colors for Convict. So we're gonna go in and put it on the lid, and then what I'll do is I'm going to grab the brush that I used to put on to apply the concealer and the eye primer potion. We're just gonna pick up a lot of that white on the brush. And what I also like doing this for, it also helps clean up whatever colors are already on the brush that you use. Like I just used this on my black, like on the black on my eyelids, and it left some black on this. So I use this to kind of clean up all the black, and as you can see, all the black is gone. And then we're gonna just use it to kind of clean up the crease. Hold on, I got to find my meter. I like this mirror because it's got the this is one of my wrestling posters. It's got the magnification, and then it's got the regular one. So we're gonna just grab the magnification end and just kind of clean up these lines. Okay, so now we're gonna do the gel bars on this side of the face, and we're gonna go right back into our NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and this flat brush, and we're just gonna do lines up and down, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill those lines in with a silver color to kind of give it a more metallic look, and then if we have to, we'll just use eyeliner to kind of clean up the lines. Okay, so now that we've got the bars, we're going to fill them in with this silver color from our NYX Avant Pop. And we're going to go right into this silver color. It doesn't really translate well, but just give me a bit. I'm starting to work on stuff, and soon I'll have a better setup. So we're going to take that silver and load it on the brush. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to just kind of put it right over the white lines. Okay, so now on this side, we're going to do the signature pentagram that Convict used to wear on his mask. So we've got the prison bars on this side, and then we're going to have the pentagram on this side. So we're going to just grab our Urban Decay Razor Sharp liquid eyeliner and bump, and we're going to get started on drawing. Okay, so I did the white liner and I did the pentagram and the 666. I also used black liner, and then I used it to kind of clean up the lines on the bars. What I'm going to do next, before I clean up these bars a little bit more, I'm going to do how it's black here. I'm going to do silver for the rest of the way. So we're going to go right into our NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil and this pointy eyeliner part of my brush. And we're going to put the white base for the silver liner. So again, I love being able to use a brush on this thing because it also helps clean up all the excess like product from what other colors were on here, and it kind of helps kind of clean it up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to do the liner. Okay, so I did it on this side with the silver. You can't really see it, but I'm going to show you how I did it. I put the white, and now I'm going to apply the silver right on top to make it look like it. Okay, so I'm going to grab some black liner, and I'm just going to kind of fix up the wings a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to clean up the bars a bit, and we're going to go into our Avant Pop, that black color right there. And we're going to just use this end of the brush like we did, but just kind of clean it off a little bit. You don't want to mix the white with the black. See? Then you're just going to go in and go in between the bars to kind of, you know, fix up the black in between. Okay, so now it's time to wipe off the bake. What I usually have been using lately is my Tarte Cream Foundation in Medium Honey. And just grab a regular brush. And then, sorry, I just washed these a couple of days ago, so they were just like a little kind of, I don't know, sticky looking. We're just gonna swirl in, dust off. Now if you notice, I didn't really do like heavy contouring and stuff. I'm gonna just use powders to contour. I'm not gonna use any creams. I felt like there's no need to because it's been getting warm out and it's really warm in my bedroom. I feel like if I would have put too much creams on my face, it would have sweated off my face. So I feel like I just did the right amount. So I'm just right now dusting off the bake, because what we're gonna do is we're also gonna do the under eye and smoke it out. So the under eye, we're going to just go back into that brush that we used the orange for, and we're going to go right into the Jones. And we're just going to pop it right underneath the under eye. So let's get that started. If I can open up here. Okay, so on top of the orange, I did a little bit of black. I don't know if you can see it. Right underneath. So now that we've got all that done, we're going to just take a regular black liner and a moist, damp beauty blender and just kind of fill in the waterline. Okay, so we've got pretty much most of everything done. We're gonna go right into contouring, and I'm just gonna grab this angle brush and my Sweet Peach Glow Kit, and we're gonna go right into this brown color and just start applying the contour, because I didn't put any cream contour, so this is all kind of just to kind of, when I put the powder in, it just kind of gives it a more subtle contour instead of just like my usual OD contour. So we just blend everything there, right there. See, we don't want anything to be too dramatic like I normally do, because you know I love me some contouring. I like to make my fat face look all angular and stuff. So we're just gonna pop this in, and then we will be right back for the next step. Now we're gonna go into blush, and we're gonna go same Sweet Peach Glow. We're gonna go into that peach, and we're gonna just use the same brush because why not? I mean, we just kind of look at that. So we're gonna do that on the other cheek, and we'll be right back for the next step. Okay, so I'm gonna do quick contouring with that same color right here on the nose. Nothing too big and bold. It's all about the eye makeup. So next we are gonna go into our Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, because y'all know I hate falsies. Well, I don't hate them. Here's my thing with falsies. I have really naturally long, nice eyelashes to begin with. So I feel like if I use falsies, it's gonna kind of over time get rid of the fullness of what I was born with. I don't want to do that. But I do play with them once in a while. It's just I personally prefer mascara, and it usually works for me. So I mean, if I'm going out, then yeah, but usually I'm hanging out with a bunch of people that really don't give two flying fucks about my makeup anyways. But yeah, I just choose not to use false eyelashes. My sister uses the lash extensions, and now she's got premature female pattern eyelash baldness, and I don't want that. So we're gonna just pop on this mascara, and I know this mascara isn't any better, but at least you could wash it off. You could just soak it when you're in the shower, just like kind of let the water hit your face and stuff, and it eventually softens the product, so it makes it easier to come off with later on. But with false lashes, you kind of gotta like yank those off your face, and I don't know, I just can't do it. So I mean, I do it once in a while, but like I said, personal preference, I just choose not to. I like my lashes just the way they are. So, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Right? So, okay. So now that we've got everything pretty much done, we're just going to go into my Marc Jacobs sampler. It's a really pretty color called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Now, if that wasn't a sign from the universe saying that, I'm just saying the universe is saying good things are coming our way. I'm a heavy believer in that. Like what you put into the universe, you get back. It's almost like if you're praying, you know, please God, help me, help my uncle get through this cancer, help my uncle fight cancer, help my friend who's in a coma right now beat it. Or, I mean, people don't seem to realize prayers, if you truly believe in them, you're giving off that energy. That's what it is. That's all prayer is, giving off energy and positive vibes. If you give out positive vibes, the universe will bring it back. You know, everything is all equivalent exchange. What you put into this universe, you get back out. So if you put in a lot of positive energy, you get back a lot of negative. If you put out a lot of positive energy, you get back a lot of positive energy. Same goes with negative. You end up waking up every morning being just a nasty person, and guess what? Your whole day is going to be shitty anyways. So keep that in mind when, you know, you wonder why you're having like such a crappy day. Stop being such a crappy person. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, it might not work for what works for me might not work for you, but you know, just kind of keep that in mind. You know, try to wake up every day in a good mood, because today is never ever promised, no matter what anybody tells you. anybody and everybody can meet with the Reaper. You know, just like with Convict, who this look is inspired by, we all kind of did not see it coming. So when I got the call in the morning from Happy the Clown, it was just like, and Happy's a wrestler, so just in case you guys are wondering who Happy the Clown. Happy is a friend of mine. He's a wrestler. I've trained with him for many years, and he's part of Team Body Bag with Necro Black, who we've worked with. Great guys. Just to keep in mind, I got a phone call from Happy that day, and you know, and it's very rare that he calls me, you know, otherwise he hits me up on Facebook. So when I got the phone call, I knew something was wrong. And you know, he had told me Convict passed, and you know, it really hit hard. So you know, like I said, nothing is ever promised. Try to live each day as if it's your last. Please be positive. Please give out positive. Please love as much as you can, and try not to hate as much as you can. And if you can't get over the hatred of somebody, try to not forgive them, but try to ignore them. Try to pretend that they don't exist, if that's the case. You know, it's really hard to not hate somebody when they hurt you in such an extreme way. And it's really hard to forgive. I'll admit, there's some people that I will not ever forgive. Maybe one day I will, but I highly doubt it. I don't think they really deserve that forgiveness, but who knows? Life is short. So when I got the phone call and I was told, it really broke my heart, and it just really did come so suddenly. So it's so important to try and just be positive, live each day positively, and just try and see the good in each day. You know, oh, your phone broke, you missed your train, you got to work late, your boss is an asshole, but guess what? You got to experience that. Not that many people get to. Some people are stuck in a bed for the rest of their lives fighting some disease that they didn't even ask for. And there are kids out there, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, there are kids out there that'll never have a normal childhood and have such debilitating diseases and disorders that they may not ever live a normal adult life. They might not even make it to adulthood. So how about we just think of that and keep that in mind, that, you know, oh, my day didn't go so well, but at least I got a day. You know? I mean, life isn't perfect, but life is what you make of it. So if you don't want to let all the bad things get the best of you, don't let them. Try and be positive. I know it's not easy, but try and think of the little things that, you know, most people don't even have that you have. A phone service, friends, a life, a place to lay your head. Not many people have that. Not many people even have shoes. There's homeless people out there. Thank God it's summertime, so it really doesn't matter. But still, they're walking along the streets with broken glass in their toes and in the soles of their feet. And you're walking around in some 3-month-old sneakers, and you don't even like the sneakers because they're 3 months old. They're dirty, they're scuffed. Yeah, at least you have sneakers. So, sorry to kind of go a little ranty on that, but just keep in mind, life is too short. With that being said, because life is too short, you could never have enough highlighter. So we're going to go right into our Anastasia Beverly Hills. And we are going to pick, this time, Amber Gold, because it's kind of an orangey color. And we're just going to pop that right there. And it does seem like a simple look. I mean, this isn't exactly something that you could go out to the store in, unless you're me, because I will, and I would. I'd wear this shit to pick up my son, so just keep that in mind. Like, I'm a mom, so I'll go to the store like this. I don't care. You think I care? No, I don't care. You want to know why? Because life is too short, and I look adorable. I mean, you know, I'm honoring a good friend who was by no means perfect. I mean, we all have our crimes. We all, you know, have our flaws, but he was always good to me. And I remember the last conversation I had with him, and I thank the Lord, because life is really too short and you don't want to freaking live your life with regrets. And, you know, I was able to talk to him, give him a hug and kiss, tell him I missed him. And I remember him telling me how he wanted to get back in the ring, and it kind of breaks my heart because he will never ever get to get back in the ring. And, you know, it's just, it's sad because, you know, he had that much hope. It goes to show that sometimes you never know what life will bring to you. So just try and live it to the fullest. And that's what he tried to do. You know, he was missing a leg, but that didn't stop him. I mean, there are wrestlers out there, Chris Melendez, straight from the military, wrestling with one leg. So if that didn't give him enough motivation to want to get back in that ring, I don't know what did. But he wanted to get back in that ring, and hopefully, I'm hoping he's sitting there in heaven with Blackafellow and Tim Arson and my grandpa Ralph and, you know, Kay and everybody that I love that are out there in heaven. And, you know, he's enjoying himself and he's finally getting to wrestle again the way he wanted to. So, you know, it's heartbreaking, but it's good to know that he's actually going to get back in that proverbial ring in the sky. Some people might not believe in the afterlife. I mean, I do. I just don't believe that it's run by some big old guy in a long hair. I don't believe in some Gandalf looking motherfucker sitting on a throne with a whole bunch of winged fuckboys telling me whether I live the good life or not. I would like to think of it as American Gods. If you've watched American Gods and you're up to season 4, then I'm hopefully not spoiling anything, but I like to think of it as encountering someone like Anubis, where your heart is weighed against a feather, you know, and that determines whether you've lived a good life or a bad life, because we all have never lived perfect lives. But I'd like to think that maybe the good that I've done is enough to send me into the afterlife and see all my friends and family again. That's just my belief. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that I believe in God. I mean, there must be something out there, but I believe it's more just energy and the transcendence of. So, and I think the Bible is just a big old book of fairy tale bullshit to, you know, make people just kind of be obedient. But anyways, I don't want to rant. This look was for a fallen friend of mine, so that's why I'm with the whole afterlife and live life to the fullest. So with that said, this is the finished look. It is called Maximum Security. I don't know if you can see the 666 and the pentagram. I tried to do as best I could with the pentagram, but I think the silver line came out actually pretty nice. And then you see the bars and then the orange for the jumpsuit. And this is the completed look. Sorry if my hair looks a little, but I've been like leaving it curly and stuff, so this is what it kind of looks like. But this is the Maximum Security look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I had so much, okay, much better. I had to clean the screen because I stuck my finger on it, on the lens of my computer thingy. But I'm going to be having a better setup soon, so. This is the finished look. This is a tribute in honor to my friend Convict, also known as to some as Overdose. I knew him as Convict, so that's why I did my look based on his Convict gimmick. This look is called Maximum Security, and I want to say I had a lot of fun doing it, because I did, but it was also very humbling and sobering to do this look, because he's no longer with us here. He's in that big wrestling promotion in the sky and having the time of his life wrestling the greatest of greats. So with that being said, Convict, I miss you. You know, you weren't perfect, but you weren't a bad person either, and I'm glad I at least got to say goodbye to you. So with that, I hope you guys like, subscribe. Sorry if it's a little kind of, I'm not trying to be depressing. I'd like to think that he lived his life to the fullest, and I'd like to think that I'm going to see him again one day. It's just sad that he's not here at the moment. So I know that I'll see him again one day, and you know, we all will one day see our loved ones in one way, shape, or form. So keep that in mind. Try not to think of them being gone, but just thinking that they transcended to the next part of life. This is my look. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, follow me on my social media outlets, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. I don't have Instagram. So with that being said, I'm the Ring Queen Lexa Rose, and I will be back, you will be back, and we will have another fun-filled tutorial. I've got a couple lined up, so stay tuned and I will see you again.